Also a social media sensation on TikTok, so we're looking forward to showcasing and sharing her journey thus far.
So my name's Maya Vance. I'm 30 years old. I live in Cambridge, New Zealand. No, I grew up in Papakura and I lived there for 25 years, unfortunately.
Southside, eh?
Yeah, unfortunately. That's why I'm so tough. Like 50 kilos is kind of what you have to be to start out.
What the heck? I'll have absolutely no chance then.
Yeah, I didn't have much either.
Yeah. Was that always your dream, to be a jockey?
Yeah, so I would go to the races with my parents when I was younger, and my parents are quite short, and I was like already taller than them by like the age of 12, and I went to the races and all everyone would ever say is like, oh, you're not going to be a jockey, are you? And like the thing about me is I'm super competitive, so I'm like, oh, now I got to do it, don't I? So I didn't have those pressures from like my parents to be a jockey, because they were actually convincing me not to do it. But like being really, really competitive my whole life growing up through school and stuff, it's like really hard to be really competitive, but like shit at everything you do. So I had been like really, really struggling, but in terms of my mental health, I was probably at the worst. I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. So I was like, I'll ride over jumps for a while, because at least I get to do the job that I love and not have to lose 3 kilos and hate myself and hate my job and hate the world and want to die. So I was like, I'll ride over jumps, and everyone's like, oh, that's so dangerous, you could get hurt. I'm like, yeah, well, I hurt myself already, so it's fine. I think 60 is like not that fast, but like when you don't have a windscreen in front of you, it's pretty fast.
Wow.
It's even faster when the ground's hard.
Yeah.
You hit it harder.
What was rock bottom for you? Obviously the accident, but what?
Everyone felt so sorry for me, and they were like, oh, this is such a hard thing to go through, and I'm like, actually not as hard as my life has been up until this point. People bring me like food and I could eat it, and no one like yells at me for eating, or like I don't have to think, if I eat this I have to throw it up later to make weight tomorrow, or like, you know. And I just started posting everything online. Like if I went into the supermarket and had a panic attack and shit myself, I'd get on TikTok and be like, guess what? You know, if it helps one person, it's worth it, and it's helping more than one person, so it has to be worth it.
Where it gets too much for you?
Sharing? No. Like, you know, if I had no hate comments, it'd be a little bit less content, but no. It doesn't worry me at all.